Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I'm ready to do my first impressions on this wonderful, wonderful, not so little knife. This is the Pena, or Peña. I think you're supposed to say Peña. Yeah, Peña. Enrique Peña. People say his name a variety of ways, and I don't speak Spanish fluently, but I live in Southern California. I hear Spanish a lot. Took some Spanish classes. Peña it has an N. That's where I'm getting that from. But some people say Pena. I know that's wrong. It's an N, not just an N. So it's not Pena. It's either Peña or Peña. I feel like sometimes I say Peña. I'm going to go with Peña. I say Peña, but that would be P-I-N-A, because like Peña Colada, right? Peña, P-E-N-A, Peña. This is the Enrique Peña large Swayback X series. So this is one of the Reat built versions of an Enrique Peña design, and I am adoring this knife. If you watched my unboxings, or my unboxing of this, you'll have seen already that I was pretty excited to get this sucker. And now that I've carried it a couple of times and I'm in first impressions territory, yeah, I'm loving this thing. Absolutely through and through, really, really enjoying it so far. I have the Peña X Series Apache front flipper. I would hold it up right now, but it's loaned out to Kyle from DTOM Knives and Gear. So you can go back and watch my review. You can check it out on his channel. That knife is really, really great. It's a small front flipper, and it's really kind of a top flipper if you get down to it, like this one. See how it's on top and not at front? I guess you could grab from the front, but it's designed kind of like a Zippo to grab from the top and pull back. And the Apache is the same way. And that knife is a smaller profile, but it's a really cool kind of worny sheep's foot looking blade, and I love that thing. I through and through really enjoy that knife. And so when I saw that Enrique Peña posted on his Instagram that he had some of these and that they were available to just purchase on his site, I think genuinely the first time that I even knew this knife was going to be a thing was when he was like, these are available and on my site right now. And so I ordered one right then and there. I didn't hesitate because I know these things typically, his knives, the X Series ones and his customs, but the X Series ones, which are kind of in my range, they tend to sell out quick, and then they tend to kind of be a little while before the next one comes out. And I had been wanting to try not only a Swayback, but one of his Swaybacks. And so it was perfect. What was meant to be was that I saw it when it happened. And luckily I was pretty quick, and I was able to get one of these in the black micarta, which is what you see here. This was the configuration that I ultimately wanted. So I'm stoked that I got exactly the one I wanted. Now, I'm going to save a lot of my in-depth kind of stuff for the full review. But right off the bat, this thing, I like this size better than the Apache, which is crazy because I loved the Apache. And when I had the Apache, I wasn't sitting there thinking, man, this thing is great, but I wish it was a little bigger. Like I didn't even have that thought, or at least I don't recall having that thought. But then now that this exists and it is bigger, which there's also a little Swayback, the same size as my Apache, but this large Swayback, this bigger version, just feels right to me. This blade is, I think, a 3¼ inch blade. It's a decent sized blade, but it's still not large. Really, this feels like a normal size knife to me, and the Apache now feels like a mini. So this one's called the large. I've even noticed some people keep calling it the XL. It's not an XL. I don't know. People mess up terms a lot. It's not like I should be mad, but this is the large Swayback, not an XL or anything. Maybe there will be an XL eventually. It'll be even bigger than this, but this size is really, really nice for me. I just dig it a lot. If you look, you'll see I get a full 4-finger grip on here. I've got a little bit of wiggle room forward and back, so I'm not like cramped in this 4-finger grip. There's a little bit of jimping right up here. That's very tightly placed and feels good. Ergonomically, this knife is just cool in hand. Being a Swayback, it's interesting because the handle is backwards the way that you hold it if you've got it in a typical like kind of forward grip, right? And it's somehow still really, really comfortable. It just fits my hand well. I like this kind of bulge up here, and then the way that it sets into my palm back here. It just feels really nice, and the ergos are good. But then on top of that, if I put it in my hand for a draw cut, I mean, it's stupid comfortable. And I have cut an apple with this, and cutting an apple with it, it feels super comfortable like this, to be able to kind of press in towards my thumb and make those types of cuts. It's just really, really good in that way. Reverse grip, phenomenal. Feels really, really good in a reverse grip. Reverse grip draw cut, even better. This feels like this knife is designed to go in my hand this way, and really it kind of is. It's the handle is oriented to go like this, and with this swell right here, it's just, oh, this feels so good. So I think this is kind of like secretly maybe a really, really great tactical knife, because this is like a Pakal style grip, and it is perfect in it. It's really, really good in that way. And I feel like if you were into knife combatives, then this would actually kind of make a lot of sense. But yeah, for me, I'm loving the ergos. The action is super fun. The size is just right. And it's fun to play with. It's very nice to use. It's a hollow grind that's not super deep, and it gets to a nice thinness behind the edge. The way that it's kind of a warny here, the tip positioned all the way down there. It's a dream for opening packages and stuff. I've carried it as a secondary each time that I've carried it so far. So back left pocket, super thin profile. I mean, it's winning. It's winning me over. Each time that I've put it in pocket, I've been like excited that it's the knife in my back left pocket. And it's also big enough that I could carry it as a primary, ultimately. But it's just so slim that it works as a secondary, so why not have this as my secondary? I don't know. It's great. I'm impressed with it. So I don't think I need to make this one all that long and in-depth. My full review, I imagine, is going to end up very positive unless something weird happens here. The only thing I could say so far that sticks out to me that I'd say is at all negative is a couple of times, because it's a bolster lock, the way that I've gone to disengage the lock, if I'm pressing in a way that my finger can kind of get, which I naturally have a few times when I'm not thinking about it, I've naturally just kind of put a little bit of my fingertip between the actual micarta, the bolster, and the lock bar. It can give me a little bit of an unpleasant pinch down there, but it's not like it's drawn blood or anything, and my finger is pretty calloused at this point. So if I just make a mental note to not press on it down here where that corner is, but press on it a little further up, then it never happens. And even if I just press on it the right way by not like grabbing onto it from the top, but actually digging my finger in, then it's also not a problem. So that's just me being a complainer. Yeah, anyways, I'm loving this knife so far, through and through. I'm super glad that I went with the black micarta. I think it looks fantastic. I think it's unique. It's fun because it looks like a traditional. It's very non-threatening, but it's actually a pretty serious knife. And yeah, it's kind of a home run so far, in my opinion. Anyway, this is the Enrique Peña X Series Swayback Large, or Large Swayback. I don't know which goes first there, but Peña, Enrique Peña. I'm sticking to that. Anyways, thanks guys. I'll see you on the next one.